NewsBiscuit. Real fake news.
Welcome to NewsBiscuit, the UK's original fake news. NewsBiscuit, tickling your feet with the feather duster of truth. I'm your host, Wrenfoe, and I'm joined by two people wanted by the International Court for Crimes Against Comedy. Chipchase.
Good morning.
And Bernard Castle.
Good morning.
This month sees the start of World War III, but no one cares who wins, as long as it's not Logan Paul. The Archbishop of Canterbury resigns over abuse accusations, only to become Trump's new head of safeguarding. And old MacDonald had a farm, but thanks to inheritance tax, the key word there is had. And so that brings us to our first round news in brief, where our panelists select their favourite headlines.
Boris gets virus. Virus expected to make a full recovery.
I noticed that Boris has been popping up on our TV screens again, and they've been sort of pitching him as like an elder statesman, asking him for his wisdom. And I think that's assuming that everyone in the UK has had some sort of brain injury that we don't remember.
I was on Jeremy Vine the other day flogging his book. And everything, I don't remember that. Wasn't me. No, it was other fellows. But, total, still unremittingly unsorry.
Yeah. Does that mean that most of his own book is then going to be just redacted, is it?
I heard the same interview that you talked about. It's just as if, I didn't do that.
Yeah, that was
I guess you did. You actually did.
You were there.
You actually did do that.
I thought it was sort of waxing.
But it makes you understand kind of how kind of history works in real time. If enough people sort of deny a thing happens, you start, the gaslighting thing. You start to go, well, maybe the Titanic didn't sink. Yeah. Could have sworn it did.
Because one time I believe they walked on the moon.
Oh, don't get me started on that rabbit hole. I can't go down there again.
That can't be true.
No.
Did you hear the theory that Badenoch, the choice of Badenoch as the leader of the Conservative Party, they're playing the long game to get Boris back in?
That's what I'm worried about.
And I laughed at first when I thought about it, but then when you thought about it further, you thought, okay, that could happen.
Look at America. I just say, look at America.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think they ditched him too early. I mean, from a political point of view, I think he would have given Starmer a good run for his money, because Boris is just, entertaining in the way that Starmer isn't, and some people will vote for that. But is it too late to come back from?
Hope so.
I hope so, but possibly not.
Okay, stranger things.
I'm sure it's at the back of his mind. I'm sure that's at the back of his mind. Well, sorry, let me rephrase that. I'm sure that's uppermost in his mind.
Right, Bernard, what else you got?
Orange Order holding open auditions.
That's a lovely image. I love all the Orange Order people are all sort of musical theatre rejects.
Yeah. There's people anxiously sitting there with their duffel bags, hoping for success.
Step, ball, shuffle, shout something racist.
How far can you throw this brick?
Yeah. But with jazz hands at the end.
Absolutely, of course, they had a big smile. French offer Ukraine unlimited supplies of white flags.
Yeah, when the French are backing you, your days are numbered.
Going to war without the French is like going fishing without a banjo. Trump picks Hannibal Lecter, the Surgeon General.
I've been looking at the Trump picks, and one of the first things that strikes me is this is the first time anyone seems to have paid attention to who a president has picked for his cabinet. Usually it goes, unremarked, but everyone's very angry about it. And I think if Trump's intention was to make certain types of liberals extremely, frustrated, then job done, sir. Well done. I'd doff my cap to you, because that seems to have done the trick, because people are absolutely fuming.
I've read it. He's trolling them deliberately. He's just trolling the liberals deliberately.
You think so?
Who can I get? Who's even worse?
Yeah, he knows where to poke them, doesn't he? He
Yeah,
knows
totally.
which tail to tweak. And then they squeal, piggy squeal.
But I'm genuinely, and obviously comedically, I'm interested. But I'm genuinely interested to see how the whole Trump presidency kind of rolls out, because everyone was being so quick to call him Hitler, even in the run-up to the election. He's definitely going to be Hitler. He is going to be Hitler, and you're just thinking he's probably going to be horrendous. But Hitler, horrendous? I don't know. The last group did a genocide, so I don't know where. But it just seems, again, if you were giving advice to an actor, you would say, well, don't sort of peak emotionally too soon. Don't play the Hitler card straight out. At least wait a few minutes, build up to a crescendo. But it seems
wait until March, yeah.
Yeah, they've gone big. They've gone big on the Hitler thing, and I just think it's far too early. And you never know. It could be like last Trump presidency, where he came in and he did nothing. He really did do
Played a lot of
very
golf.
little. He played a lot of golf.
Barged his way to the front of world leaders.
Yeah.
I'll never forget that one. He was at the back of them, elbowing them down the road. Get up front and center.
Yeah, he's a walking metaphor, isn't he?
He's another one who's sort of beyond satire, isn't he? Really?
Yes. I mean, I think, NewsBiscuit, we are pretty screwed when he came in the first time round. I mean, there was a nice little flurry of articles for the first month going, oh, isn't he a bit orange? And mad. And then, of course, he continued to be orange and mad. And then we had nothing else to say.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure we're going to add much to it this time round either. You need a bit more variation in there.
Yeah. Trump to become gay icon on day one.
Again, just tweaking the tail of a particular demographic.
Absolutely.
I wouldn't put it past him. I wonder how people are going to watch Home Alone this Christmas.
Yeah.
That's the issue, because he's in Home Alone, isn't he?
He is, briefly, yeah.
And if you feel that strongly about Trump, you should stop watching Home Alone. I say that because I can't stand Home Alone, and I'd like people to stop watching it. Nothing to do with Trump. I don't
They voted the nation's most heartwarming Christmas movie.
Home Alone?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
It's just for the violence, isn't it?
I just saw the slapsticks. Yeah, it's brilliant. Laurel and Hardy.
Okay. It wouldn't be mine, but
well,
when they did the survey, they didn't ask me.
Yeah.
No.
Well, that's the other thing about all surveys. I don't mind the outcome of surveys, but I have never been asked to participate in the survey. So I am very suspicious about the legitimacy of any survey. We asked the British public. Hold on.
I never heard that noise ever. That bloke from the pub set to replace Lineker on Match of the Day.
To be fair to the guy from the pub, he's put the hours in. I mean, he's been training for this for years.
He knows about everything. He knows about every team's strategy, doesn't he? He wants to put old fronty up front and somebody up back and somebody in the middle, and that's where he's going wrong.
I mean, you could genuinely do that if you wanted to jazz up Match of the Day. You could. I mean, I wouldn't have the gal presenting it, but one of the pundits. You just grab someone from the public who's just quite opinionated, and I imagine that would be genuinely hilarious.
There was a time when the broadcasters had an alternative comedy. Alternative commentary on the games where you had Fan Zone instead. So you had two mushes talking about their team.
Really?
So it was an alternative. You could select an alternative feed, so you didn't have to have John Motson or anybody like that. You could have.
Is this a thing I can still do?
I don't know. I don't think so. I don't know. This isn't funny, of course, but this is we digress. But
but this is life changing for me. I want this.
Well, check it out. You used to be able to do that.
I mean, I go to football and I go quite regularly, but I go, 40% I think is the game, 10% is the cheesy chips, and then I think 50% is the banter.
Yeah,
banter is definitely
the bants get with you could bants these days.
I swear I've missed most important moments with my football team just because I've been too busy chatting to the people next to me and making
Chris Kamara. Chris Kamara.
Yeah.
What's that, Jeff?
The player was sent off, wasn't he? And he didn't know. What? Count the number of players on the pitch. He's like, this is what I'm missing. Yeah, that was brilliant. That was good. That was genius. And he was a really good sport about it as well, which was
he was.
All the more lovely, able to laugh at himself. So
nice chap. Okay, then how about this? Elon Musk buys Truth Social from Trump for $1.
Yeah, not funny because it's plausible. May have already happened. It may have already happened. Yeah, Musk is having a whale of a time. He's really sort of enjoying himself. But it is quite funny, the whole sort of, because obviously he bought Twitter, didn't he, on a bit of a dare. Yeah. Someone literally just said, whatever, why don't you buy Twitter?
Look in his back pocket.
And he's like, okay, how much is it? And everyone's like, shit. He scored our bluff. And I noticed the other day that because I'm a bit geeky, there's Dungeons and Dragons, the IP, as it were.
Oh, yeah.
It is owned by a company that isn't being particularly respectful of its past or whatever, So there's a lot of core gamers who are very angry about it. And they are constantly tweeting Elon going, buy Dungeons and Dragons. And I'm thinking, this is just the sort of thing he would do as well. Yeah. And be careful. Well, what I would say is, it's like the Greeks say, be careful what you wish for.
Yeah, he'd destroy that too.
Yeah, once he's got it, you don't know.
Say, guys, I think we should have My Little Pony in this as well.
Oh yeah, and I would say, my other sort of comment about you mentioned about destroying it, because everyone was like, he is going to destroy Twitter, and I've been on Twitter for years, and actually Twitter has hardly changed at all. It's still the cesspool that it always was.
Well,
it hasn't improved or got
I
worse.
remember those old Hilligan days or Halcyon days when it used to be quite pleasant in there.
Well,
But
it's the algorithm. It's who you
horrible,
interact with. If you even actually interact with people that you're angry about, then you'll get more of that feedback onto your stream.
Yeah.
My stream's lovely. My stream's full of lovely people saying lovely things because I don't rise to the bait, so I don't see what it complains. But what I did find quite funny is a load of people sort of emigrated from Twitter to
Blue Sky.
Blue Sky,
Blue Sky.
and they're like, yes, we're off. Although they had to announce they were going,
Yeah.
because it's not a flounce unless you announce it. But they're like, this is going to be better. And for the first few weeks, you were getting reports back from them, like you'd sent a colony to the New World or something, going, this is absolutely fine, it's lovely. And then the reports we're getting back now are like, we're eating our young,
They're eating their pets.
we've annoyed the indigenous people, they're killing us.
Yeah.
And so I've had a few people come back and go, oh, they're terrible. They're all bastards over there. I'm like, it's you guys. You guys are the ones. It's following you. You're the toxic ones.
I've seen people leave Twitter and then come back, because they've got a reasonably high profile and they can't,
Exactly.
If you go on the blue sky like I did, I thought, the new dawn has arrived, and I sailed my ship towards Blue Sky and found 3 people and a dog on there. I thought, well, there's absolutely sod all happening on there, so I better go back to the cesspool again.
Yeah, it turns out people don't want pleasant little chats with 3 or 4 people. They want a big rage with 1,000.
Yeah, they want a rant. You haven't had a good night not unless you've joined in a rant of some sort, or a pile-in or something.
Yeah.
They'd rather watch a pub fight, wouldn't they? I mean, who doesn't like a pub fight?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, we say we don't, and we bring in laws against it.
Yeah,
but
no.
we
But
do
it's
like
got
a
fun.
pub fight.
We know what's going on there.
Two blokes hugging each other.
Zombie knife ban not enforced due to cuts. A child who feels trapped inside Christmas grottos has claustrophobia.
It's seasonal, so we'll let you get away with that one.
Sorry, I apologise. Sorry.
Yeah, leave your name on the way out.
Yeah. And the last one, kids warned that if they don't behave, they'll be getting Ed Davies single for Christmas.
Has he released a single?
Well, no, he's been implicated in. No, he's part of a charity single. He's singing along in his Christmas sweater.
Because I mean, this was his campaign, wasn't it? In the last general election, was because he worked out the press weren't going to pay much attention to him, so he just acted a complete fool by falling off of trampolines and stuff for a month, and he did get the press attention. Although, can anyone name a Liberal Democrat policy? No, eerie silence. So it's questionable as to how effective it is, but he's continued with it. He's still doing those little jokey videos and obviously pop singles now.
Yeah. And he has made a TikTok video as well, which is well worth watching.
Oh, really?
It's Steve Joy, because somebody's taught him some, I don't understand them, taught him some TikTok words and said, go over, stand over there and say TikTok words. He's the gift that keeps giving. He really is.
So he's saying it with no sense of like inflection or
no
context
sense
as
of
to what the
irony
words are.
No, that's all. No, it's just bibble, 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 bibble.
It was a time like Widdicombe on some programme said somebody's catchphrase was boom yakacha, and she said boom you catcha.
I would have had a bit of fun with that. I would have fed him phrases from Pornhub or something, and just do a proper Chris Morris brass eye on him. This is what the kids are all saying today. Felching, yes, they're really big in felching.
He probably thinks
you like felching, Ed? Yes, I love it.
He probably thinks that's a town in Sussex.
I couldn't eat a whole one though.
Yeah. What a town in Sussex did you say? Yes. That's the thing, isn't it? In towns north of the Watford Gap, they all sound like puddings, and towns south of the Watford Gap all sound like obscure sexual acts. Which explains why, in fact, the Southerners all look a bit kind of grim and moody and aren't as friendly.
My favourite posh town has to be Kingston Bagpuies.
Oh, yeah, I've had that done to me. One, It's lovely.
That's a good one, yeah.
Yeah, you have to be properly lubricated to make it work, though.
I've got one in the loft, but we only get out at Christmas.
Has it got the batteries in?
No, leave the batteries out. They might leak.
Right. Our next round is True Biscuit, where our panel has to guess which is a real headline and which is a fake one. Chipchase, shall we start with you?
Star Trek superfan has ears sculpted to replicate Mr. Spock.
You see, in my head, just because I'm a bit twisted, if I was the sculptor, I would actually make the ears look like Leonard Nimoy rather than pointed. So he actually has the shape of the entire body carved into his ear. Well, I can imagine. I mean, people do all sorts of weird stuff to their bodies.
Del Boy tattoos on people's legs. I've seen that.
Have you seen? Is that a thing?
3-wheel vans. Oh yeah, the fraternity, only fools fraternity, have Rodney on their knee and all sorts of stuff.
They're going to think twice about that when the truth about David
like
Jason
the spelt
comes out.
Rooney, of course. There's a ninja.
So is it just the ear? It's
Just
the
his
ears.
ears. Just as he didn't go with the full raised eyebrow, or he didn't have.
Well, then isn't the mistake then that you're going to get mistaken for Legolas?
Yeah,
People would just assume you're an elf.
Yeah, well, he did go on the pointy eared front as well, didn't he?
Or a real fan of Cats the movie, and there aren't many of those out there.
Starring one of your favourite actors, isn't it?
Right, I'm trying to think now of all other movies with pointy ears. The pointy ears crops up a lot. It's not unique to,
Avatar as well.
And there's no other changes. So he hasn't, because did he have a slightly greenish hue about his skin?
He did have a slightly palish pallor, didn't he? A strange pallor. But no, this is just this woman, his wife said she won't go out with him in public anymore. It's just an embarrassment.
Well, just because he had pointy ears.
Yeah, because he looks, apparently they must be accentuated quite a bit.
Yeah.
I mean, if I was her, I'd say get him to wear a beanie hat, and that's it. Sort of.
So does he wear the spot clothing? I mean,
I think that's what it is. I think he's got the uniform and stuff.
And the rather severe haircut and everything.
Yes.
Okay. That does accentuate.
There is a photograph of him here, and he does look quite spocky.
Well, look, you're trying to double bluff us now by claiming there's a photograph in front of you. We're not falling for that kind of bullshit.
No, because we can see the reflection. We can see the reflection in your glasses. There's no photograph there.
Yeah, it's Pornhub.
It's over here. I've got two screens. The other one's over here.
Okay. Yeah, well, you need two screens if you've got one for going for Pornhub.
One for truth and one for absolute fiction. Yeah.
I think if I was going to do that, I'd want to go for the whole eyebrows and I'm dubious about this one.
Well, it's not too late for me to get you a Christmas present if you want the whole thing.
It is utter drivel. Yes, false.
But what about the fake photograph you were alluding to?
That was me. Just improv. Improv's my game.
My word!
It just came me. Wow, if I was to drop in a non-existent photograph, that would swing it for me. It didn't, though, did it? It didn't swing it for me.
Well, no, I believed it. I mean, all right. I heard so through your lies, but I was partly because I go on to a lot of I like science fiction movies and stuff. So I'm probably only about 3 tequilas away from making that life decision myself. Get the ears now. Be good.
Welded into the Vulcan symbol of whatever it is.
Oh yeah, the live long and I'm doing it.
Live long and prosper. Yes, I can't do the order. I have to sort of see, I'm clearly not an alien living among us, whereas you two might be.
We're in the Illuminati. That's how we can do stuff like that. You don't want to see my all-seeing eye. It's not where you think it is. Bernard, what about you?
I'd like to introduce you to a thing called a Cagane. Caganer, which is a small figurine of a Catalan peasant wearing a red beretta, crouching and defecating.
Is there some sort of symbolism to the defecation?
Well, it's just defecating.
Is it in some way a religious artifact or something? Or is it just,
Well, it's a good question. It's traditionally placed in a Christmas nativity scene, along with Mary and Joseph, the shepherds, the wise men, and baby Jesus as a symbol of good luck and prosperity in the coming year.
Well, how was shit? Good luck. How was a kid shitting in your house? Good luck.
Different cultures, different countries. Who knows? I mean, I consider it extremely unlucky if somebody came into my living room and did that. But
so is there at some point in the telling of the nativity they'd gone, they've brought frankincense, they brought myrrh, but that's not lucky enough. We need to put something in the storyline that's really gonna.
There's a figure wearing a red berretina, crouching and defecating in it as well.
Oddly enough, I don't think he needs to wear the red hat to catch people's attention.
To make him
I think taking your shits was sufficient. That's gonna pull focus. I know other people holding gold and myrrh, but someone taking your shit right next to you. And does he then present the shit to baby Jesus and like?
Well, no, it's a figurine. They can't move, can they? I mean,
no, but he's part of. I assume he's part of the story, then, isn't he?
Yes. Well, just to help you, you can get other Kagane of different figures. For instance, you can get them of the Beatles.
All taking a shit.
And their best selling one at the moment is Lionel Messi
Taking a shit.
Uh-huh.
He shoots, he scores.
He wipes his bum.
Yeah, exactly. They're collectibles, apparently.
But if you're collecting them, does at some point, because you've got your nativity scene's getting quite crowded, so you're going to start like taking out the wise men and the sheep and the baby Jesus.
Yeah.
And the others, and you're just left with 28 figurines all having a shit in the stable.
Lionel Messi, Maradona, Donald Trump, the Beatles.
The Beatles, that's the one I'm struggling with.
Yeah.
It's a very different album cover to Sgt. Pepper,
Wings.
isn't it? Where all those characters, if you just see below the waist, and suddenly they're all taking a shit.
Yeah.
All those famous places.
Including Candy.
Yeah.
I know somebody who lives in that region, and they do have some funny customs, that's for sure.
Uh-huh.
And she did tell us about something one time, but wasn't that, but it was something equally as bizarre.
Well, next time you're over, take a shit in a sitting room and see how she responds.
Let's see how it goes.
Funny enough, didn't find it funny at all. She was shouting something. I couldn't work out what it was, different language. But
if you do that, don't forget to wear your red Baratina.
Do the Beatles have red Baratinas on them?
Yes, yeah.
Oh,
that's a characteristic of the figure. Lionel Messi has a Baratina as well.
So it's kind of topped and tailed. You've got a Baratina on top.
Yeah, because again, if the police get involved, they are going to be the only two things you remember. There's the top half and the bottom half. You are going to go, it was a hat and it was shit everywhere. Who was it? I don't even remember.
He wore a red hat. Yeah.
Is that what the Prince song is based on?
Yeah.
He wore a raspberry beret and then she took a shit in my shop or whatever it was lyric.
Or you can keep your hat on.
Yes. But please clear up the shit.
Well, I'm conflicted here. Because anything like that would have surely made its way to here because we're obsessed with sort of defecation and stuff like that.
Tell you what, it would make a great icon for the site, rather than the NewsBiscuit logo. That, I think, would be brilliant.
Yeah, we could all line up and sort of,
shitting out nuggets.
Strike the pose in some sort of way.
Yeah.
Well, I'm leaning towards this being true.
It is actually true. There is a website where you can go and buy them.
Comets, as in those big shiny things up in the sky, which come up every so often, smell like rotten eggs.
Okay. How is it you know this personally?
Well, I go to them all the time.
Yeah. So the comets...
Of course you do.
They smell of rotten eggs. So what, like
I get into my spaceship and I go up and land on one.
Yeah, of course you do. I like
could
whiskey
be billionaire.
as well.
We don't know. It's just the sort of thing an eccentric billionaire would do is sign up to NewsBiscuit and publish stories that nobody reads and then turn up on a podcast that nobody listens to. That is classic eccentric billionaire behavior.
Me and Elon do it together.
Yes. Okay. Well, that's a different bit of gossip.
Of course, of course you do. Have you been taking your medication?
Yes, I have. Yeah.
So when you say they smell of rotten eggs, I assume they've got... Is it sulfur? Is it sulfurous smell?
I suppose sulfurous, perhaps. Yeah. I don't know. Well, that's what I put it down to, anyway.
How have we worked this out? Have we sent little big robotic noses up to the things and they've sniffed them out, or?
Oh yes, this is corroborated by scientific evidence. This is
of which you're not sharing because that would be like too much.
I can't share too much of it,
No, I've noticed that.
No,
but you got a photograph, have you?
Yeah,
of which you can smell.
On my other screen, it's on my other screen.
Yeah, scratch and
you just pointed to the untrue screen, I think.
There's notes of urine in there as well.
Notes of urine in there?
Yeah, notes of urine.
Okay.
Just saying, basically, these comets smell like everyone's grandparents. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, that's it, yeah.
Yeah, shit and wee. Right, okay.
They did intercept one recently, didn't they? And landed something.
They did. And then they got off it straight away. Oh, it stinks. Oh, it's horrible. Oh, going out.
Like public toilet in there.
Yeah.
It may have had.
Also, is there a slim possibility that what happened is the little kind of robot-y thing they sent up, before they sent it up, someone inadvertently smeared it in shit and piss, and it was just smelling itself? Because it's like sometimes you go into a room and go, oh, something smells bad, and then you realise it's you. Whether it was that.
It could have been that, yeah. I can tell you is when this was discovered, they made promotional postcards were commissioned in 2016, and they had a scratch and sniff panel on them.
Okay,
Bernard, is this true? Does it smell like sulphur?
I was kind of thinking it was okay to scratch and sniff card, and I thought, well, maybe we've just walked through a weird doorway into a parallel universe here. No, I think this is not true.
Can I just say it is true, and can I say that particularly the scratch and sniff bit is true.
You should have started with just the scratch and sniff thing, because I think that's amazing. That's the one that is like, what the fuck? So they had the smell of a comet. So I assume they had other smells, and this is what Neil Armstrong's socks smelt like after 3 days in a thing. This is what the inside of the. See, that's what I would have done.
But then just go into a teenager's bedroom.
Yeah,
a teenage boy's bedroom smells like that.
Maybe that's the smell of the whole universe. Maybe the whole universe just stinks. We don't realise it. We're in a little hermetic bubble of kind of potpourri and stuff. So, Bernard, back to you again.
The world record for typing all of the keys on the keyboard on a standard QWERTY keyboard, the world record for typing all of those letters with your nose is 25.66 seconds.
Include the numbers and everything, you know?
Yeah. Sorry, no, just the letters. No, that would be
just the letters.
Obviously, that would take far longer.
Hard. No, it's harder just to do the letters because you mustn't hit the other bits.
Yeah, you have to be more.
And you're not allowed to cheat like a sort of like they would in like some sort of mafia movie, which is just take someone's head and smash it against the keyboard. And I've covered all the keys simultaneously.
No, you've got to do them one at a time, and the output is checked.
Oh wow!
Well, God.
And sorry, is it in? Does it have to be in order, or does it?
It's got to be like QWERTY. Just got on the keyboard, top row,
line to line to line. Yeah.
Definitely need a certain shape nose, I think, to do it well.
Pointy nose would be handy.
Yeah, Bob Hope used to have a bit of a pointy nose.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. I'll tell you what you need to do to practice. You'd have to get yourself a chicken.
Okay, this podcast is going weird.
They'd have the perfect action, wouldn't it? Chicken or a pigeon.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah. I just had this vision of you headbutting a chicken, and I couldn't work out how that was helping you.
See, if only we were on TV, Dave's just done it perfectly.
We're a team. We are a team. Yeah,
that's the thing. You definitely a chicken would help. You could study a chicken or study a pigeon for a couple of weeks before you got there with the Guinness Book of Records standing by.
Well, chickens have the motion of the head, but I don't think they go to like night school to study typing, do they? I mean,
well, crows are very clever. I heard crows talking on the radio this week.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to see what a crow would spell out. They're just
what would it say?
This crow said, "You all right?" In a northern accent, like it sounded like he was an extra from Coronation Street. You all right?
Sorry, this was on the radio. You heard a crow.
This was on the radio. This was on the radio.
You're a simpleton. This is like is it Ask Archie or whatever it was, the dummy on the radio that everyone assumed was working. Oh yeah, he was definitely a crow, not one of the technicians.
Well, I've got you there. I've got you there because this was then subsequently posted on this person's social media feed, Instagram.
What, the video?
Oh, well,
yeah, the video of it.
It must be true then.
It is true. Yeah.
There were sufficient people calling you a simpleton that they had to put together a video. Nice. And I imagine if you've been doing cocaine over the years, that will help you.
Oh yeah,
you've got that quick nose action.
Yeah, you'd be able to get yourself into the right position, right posture quite quickly.
It's a world record, but
it's a world record. The current record is 25.66 seconds.
It's less than 1 second, then, isn't it?
Yeah. But it's done by a guy known as the Typing Man of India.
That's an unfortunate name his parents gave him. Thank God he followed the career he did. Otherwise,
Vinod Kumar Chaudhary, he did it. But he also held the previous record, which was 26.73 seconds.
He beat himself then. He beat himself, right?
Yeah. Hold on, this doesn't work for me. When someone holds a record, then break your own record. They're the only one playing at that point.
Yeah.
That's not really a game, is it?
Well, when he was interviewed afterwards, he said, "My dream is eventually to break as many records as the former international cricketer Sachin Tendulkar."
Blimey.
Well, was he good at doing the typing thing as well? God, he was a talented fellow. How did he find the time in between all the cricket?
Yeah.
I like the idea that there might be a championship and there's like a room for the people all banging their faces all at the same time. Yeah. That would be great. But it sounds like it's just one guy doing it.
Well, I'm thinking laterally here, but what I would do, I'd be like that bloke in America who didn't exist, who got the pointy ears to get a surgeon to give him an extra pointy nose. And like Pinocchio would be good at this, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
Pinocchio wouldn't have to move very far.
No.
You'd have to bring in some rules to stop that sort of gamemanship going on.
It's like golf. You can't bring in sort of altered clubs and stuff like that. So you couldn't bring in
or you could.
An altered olfactory organ. Could
if you're really sort of extreme on it, what you'd have is surgically grafted onto your face. 20 odd fingers, all strategically placed for the keyboard, so that you just smash your face down in one big go. Now you're talking.
Yeah,
I don't think that would be allowed. It's got to be. I'm sure that wouldn't be allowed in this competition. It's like when we were given lines when we were kids at school. And then you would sellotape several pencils together so you could write.
I know. Everyone assumed they were a character from the Beano. This'll work.
Yeah.
Wasted 3 hours just on the
Just
sellotaping alone.
I must not sellotape pencils together.
No, not unless you were the class bully, in which case you just coerced people into doing it.
You bully, yeah.
Whilst taking their lunch money as well.
Happier times.
There's an interesting door open there.
Didn't do me any harm.
Being the bully.
I mean, when I was a kid, I used to watch Record Breakers. And people came on and
broke
did
records.
all sorts of, well, they did. There's probably there's actually
the title there.
But what you've just there's probably a world record for breaking records.
Wasn't there someone on I think a show called Opportunity Knocks who broke records over his head?
Yes, there was actually.
And sang.
There'd be a program called The Good Old Days came on, and there was a bloke came on and sang Mule Train whilst banging himself in the head with
a tea tray.
With a tea tray. Exactly.
Yeah, now we call it mental health issues. But back then, we turned it into entertainment. It was clearly a cry for help, and you guys are all just applauding him. Oh, it was excellent.
The golden generation strikes back.
Look it up. It'll be on you. It's going to be on YouTube.
Yeah.
Very entertaining. Right. Okay. I'm leaning towards this being true.
It is indeed true. Vinod Kumar Chowdhury is a real bloke, and he is known as the typing man of India, which is a great name. He also holds the world record for typing the alphabet backwards with a single hand, and that is 5.36 seconds.
Jesus! Don't start me on predictive text or on screen phones.
Oh no, that's really
Don't let's go there.
No.
I mean, I believe AI is going to be a really amazing thing, but I also believe AI definitely doesn't know me very well. It's not predicting at all, even slightly, what I want. It's a long way off. Finally, we reached the magic 8-ball.
The magic 8-ball!
Each of our guests is going to give us their predictions for next month's news.
Trump orders all US citizens to be injected with disinfectant as precaution against next world pandemic.
In his Christmas message to the United States, Joe Biden announces that he's really looking forward to becoming US president one day.
Yeah, people kind of forget that he's president at the moment, isn't he? And he's he is literally trying to go out with a bang in terms of he's stoking up all these wars around the world. And that brings us to the end of this episode, and I can reveal this month's winner is anyone not drowning in liberal tears. So Trump voters, basically. I'd like to thank Chipchase.
You're welcome.
And I'd like to thank Bernard Castle.
Absolutely welcome too.
And I leave you with these headlines. Met Office issues yellow snow warning. Never eat it. Maker of bad sieves gets a restraining order. And new law regarding stalking is getting a step closer.
You've been listening to NewsBiscuit, free to read and free to write for. We accept submissions from any budding satirist, young or old. Visit newsbiscuit.com to submit headlines, stories, and to support new writers.
NewsBiscuit. Real fake news.
We're down Flash Harry today. Oh, hold on. I've just got a message. He's had a crisis at work, so start nursing poorly servers.
I don't even know what those words mean.
Instead of, I'm because I'm slightly dyslexic. He then said, instead of being with you guys engaging in genial banter, and I read it as engaging in genital banter, which is.
Hang on a minute.
We didn't do that last time.
Yeah. Well, we can do that now. I mean, I don't mind. No, we don't record the visuals of the podcast, so guys do what you want.
Yeah, hang on. I'll just look at my special file. Let's see what I've got in there.
Yeah.
What for gentle banter?
Chipchase is very organised. He's got a whole series of different genital-related folders done.
Yeah.
It's all A through to Z. You have to have a system, otherwise those thousands of JPEGs. It's just a mess. So sorry. Yes, we're down Flash Harry today because of genital banter.
Right, we're okay.
Well, you can get cream for that now, can't you?
Yeah.